the cost graph. Now, to be fair, there's really nothing for us to talk about in this cost graph because all of the stuff that I've spoken about in the sine graph are applicable in the cost graph as well. Because if we look at this graph is exactly the same as the sine graph. Okay, the only difference is the fact that this graph has been shifted 90 degrees. Okay, 90 degrees, and this is the sine graph that has been shifted 90 degrees. Let's see if we can show that. That would be very interesting. um let's see if it will be possible for us to show that that's the case. Okay. Okay, so let me take this one. Okay, and go and place it somewhere here. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so um as it stands, let me just place the graph over there. So now let's see if I shift this the green graph to the right 90 degrees to the 90 degrees to the left and see what will happen to it, whether it will look anything like the cost graph. Okay, so this one was at point 0. So now if you shift it, it will be at 90 like this. Okay. Now, as we can see that the green graph, okay, you can see that I can extend this graph like that, and then it will be like that, and then I can extend this side as well. But then what we can see is that the the green graph has suddenly become, or it suddenly looks like this graph, the cosine graph. Let me just, ooh, this one doesn't want to move upward. Okay. Hopefully this is clear. Perhaps I can try to move everything. Um, okay, just put this there. Okay, so we see something that is pretty exciting, that the green graph, if you can pay careful attention to it, we can see that it 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 looks like this graph. Okay, it has transformed to being the cosine graph. Okay, so basically this is to prove to us that the sine graph is the same as the cos graph, but then the cos graph is just, let me rephrase my statement. The cos graph is simply the sine graph that has been shifted to the left 90 degrees. Okay, it has been shifted 90 degrees to the left. Okay, so we take a sine graph, we shift it 90 degrees to the left, we obtain a cos graph. And then we take a cos graph, we shift it 90 degrees to the right, we obtain a sine graph. Okay, now because of this, it makes sense to us, or for me to say that all the features that I have explained for the sine graph are applicable to the